All right, so today we're diving into something a little different. It's GTPR.
Interesting.
Now, you've probably heard of meme coins, right? Like the Doge coins
Well,
and the Shiba Inus, those kind of crypto darlings that are often driven by, viral trends.
yeah.
But GTPR is making a bold claim. They're saying they're more than just hype. They're saying that they're talking about actual utility,
Right.
real world value beyond the memes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if they're putting their money where their meme is, basically.
It's a fascinating concept. The crypto space is so full of these coins, that just flare up brightly and then fade just as fast.
Right.
But what if one of them could actually offer something tangible? That's a question worth exploring.
Exactly. And what's really caught my eye is that GTPR is connected to this whole gaming and real estate thing.
Really?
Have you ever heard of Goat Tapper?
I've heard whispers. Yeah, I'm curious to learn more. It's the idea of a game that can potentially lead to you owning a piece of property is pretty intriguing.
Yeah.
It's like turning playtime into portfolio building.
It's wild, right? So Goat Tapper is this mobile game where you're completing challenges, you're earning points, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
But it's how GTPR, the coin, actually fuels the whole ecosystem that gets interesting.
Okay. I'm with you so far. But how does a simple tapping game translate to real-world assets?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Well, first you got to think of GTPR as the in-game currency.
Hmm?
You use it for things like buying boosters to level up faster, to give you an edge in the game.
Okay, so far so good.
Right.
That's pretty standard for most games.
Right, exactly. But here's where the real magic happens.
Okay.
Goat drop auctions.
What?
Okay, so imagine playing the game, you're racking up points, and then you use those coins along with some GTPR to bid on a piece of real estate.
Oh, hold on. Not like virtual land, right?
No, actual property.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's a big jump.
I know. From tapping on your phone to potentially owning part of a building.
And that's what makes GTPR so intriguing. It's not just like some future metaverse real estate or something.
Yeah.
We're talking about tangible assets here and now.
That's wild.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
You need to hold GTPR to even participate in these auctions.
Ah, I see what they're doing.
Right.
They're creating a demand for the coin by making it essential to access these real estate auctions.
Exactly.
Clever.
Right. It goes beyond just speculation.
Yeah.
And speaking of holding GTPR, they have this other mechanism in place that I think is pretty interesting.
Okay.
They actually use a portion of the revenue from the game, like in-game purchases or those auction fees we talked about, to buy back GTPR from the market.
Okay, so they're taking tokens out of circulation. Pretty classic move to try and control the supply.
Right.
And in theory, boost the value of the remaining tokens.
Exactly. But they don't just hold on to those tokens that they buy back.
What do?
They burn them,
Oh, wow.
meaning they destroy them permanently. So they're not just holding them in reserve. They're permanently reducing the supply.
Poof.
Gone. Interesting.
That's right.
That seems like a pretty aggressive approach and could signal confidence in their long-term vision.
Yeah, so we've got in-game advantages and these potentially lucrative property auctions, all fueled by GTPR.
Right.
But what happens when you actually win a bid?
Yeah, how do you claim your piece of the real estate pie?
You guessed it.
NFTs.
NFTs.
Okay.
Each fraction of the property that you win is represented by a unique NFT. Basically like your digital deed to the property.
Yeah.
But here's where GTPR comes back into play.
Okay.
To claim your NFT and officially own your share, you have to pay a processing fee.
In GTPR.
Of course.
Of course.
So it's not just a one-time use for the auctions. They've really woven GTPR into every step of this process, from boosting your gameplay to actually claiming your real estate.
That's really interesting. They've created a closed-loop ecosystem.
Yeah.
Where the coin isn't just a speculative asset. It's integral to the entire experience from playing the game to owning real-world property.
Exactly. And that's quite different from your average meme coin pump and dump scheme.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And it's this whole ecosystem angle that we're going to dig into next.
Okay.
We'll be comparing GTPR to other meme coins out there and seeing how their models differ and exploring whether this self-sustaining system they've built can actually hold up in the long run.
I'm ready for it.
Buckle up. Things are about to get even more interesting.
I can't wait. So we've seen how GTPR is trying to set itself apart and with this real estate twist. But let's not forget, it's still, rooted in that meme coin culture. So does that community aspect actually translate to something more sustainable?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's honestly one of the things that really surprised me. I went into this thinking, okay, another meme coin riding that hype wave. But they've actually cultivated like a pretty vibrant community around Goat Tapper. People are sharing their game strategies. They're organizing tournaments. They're even doing these crazy hashtag Goat Tappin' challenge videos.
Wow.
It's wild.
So they're leveraging that same viral energy that we see with those other meme coins. But the difference here is that they're actually offering a pathway to tangible benefits.
Right.
It's not just about belonging to a cool online group or something.
Right.
It's about potentially owning a piece of property.
Right.
Which is a pretty powerful motivator.
Exactly. And that leads us to another key difference between GTPR and those meme coins that just kind of flame out quickly. They've designed their ecosystem to be self-sustaining. So think about it. Every time someone buys a booster in the game, participates in an auction, or claims their real estate NFT, it generates revenue that feeds back into the project.
Like a flywheel effect.
Yeah.
Increased engagement leads to more revenue, which they can then use to fund further development, buy back and burn more tokens, and potentially enhance the value of those property shares.
Precisely. They're not just relying on hype and market momentum. They've built a system that, in theory, can generate its own growth and value over time.
That's certainly the goal. But the real question is, does it work in practice? Can they actually maintain this delicate balance of community engagement, revenue generation, and value creation in the long run? That's the challenge for any project in this space.
Yeah.
Especially one that's trying to bridge the gap between the meme world and tangible assets.
Absolutely. And to be fair, it's still early days for GTPR. We're talking about a relatively new project in a rapidly evolving market. But what I think is so exciting is that they're not just another meme coin trying to ride the coattails of a trend. They're trying to build something different, something with real-world implications.
Yeah, I agree. The fact that they're actually linking their token to real property is a bold move. It's like they're saying, hey, we're not just a funny internet coin. We're a gateway to owning a piece of the real world.
It's a powerful narrative. And it's one that could resonate with a lot of people, especially those who are new to crypto or who are looking for like alternative investment opportunities. But as with any investment, there are risks involved. So I think it's time to shift gears a little bit and talk about GTPR from an investor's perspective.
Okay, let's put on our investor hats then and assess the potential of GTPR. What are we looking at here?
Well, one of the first things that comes to mind is just the whole concept of meme coin investing in general. It's often seen as this high-risk, high-reward game where emotions and speculation can drive prices up and down wildly.
Yeah, for sure.
So how does GTPR fit into that landscape?
That's the question, isn't it? Meme coins have this reputation of being driven by hype and, short-term trading.
Yeah.
But GTPR is trying to present itself as something more.